have tried to incorporate some of the challenges while AI is being introduced. Also, how AI can be used as a better tool for cyber security. So, basically, my topic that it will be covering. I am not talking in such a way that we will cover the entire spectrum of some kind of technology. We should ensure that the users or various stakeholders should be having some kind of trust in the entire ecosystem. So for that thing, my flow of this particular session is that I will be discussing, actually my area of specialization is compliance, cyber security compliance and normal cyber security only. So I will have brought my sessions in such a way that I will give or throw some lights onto the Indian context, because if you are comparing India with other nations, we are far ahead comparing with even other developed countries also in the area of AI adoption, then IT implementation, then internet penetration, number of broadband users. In all aspects, if you are considering, we are always in the, we can proudly claim that we are on the top 10. So that itself will be giving more value to the cyber security requirements. Okay. So I will be going through some of the initiatives being taken at national level and why that particular initiatives have put some importance to the cyber security requirement. Then everywhere we are talking about AI, how AI can be used by attackers as well as from the defense point of view, how AI can be given. Then everywhere we are in the past till 2020 we were all worried about where we have to store the data and other things. Now everything we have moved to cloud. So cloud, when cloud is being introduced in our any enterprise or any sector, lot of cyber security challenges are getting evolved. So I'll be covering this entire particular 1.5 hour or 2 hour session, starting from the Indian context, where we are placed, what are the security relevance of cyber security in the context of the IT developments, then the traditional cyber security which we were talking till 2023, that is again still valid, but the core cyber security will be lies in the process of detection and prevention, mitigation and other things. Additionally, AI will play a major role as then the requirement of cloud, and what are the, see, we can have the technologies in place, but now if you are looking into the normal scenario itself, everywhere we are having lot of AI cameras and all. I'm just giving a people perspective, human perspective, that even if in any road, especially in Kerala, that AI camera introduction was a controversial thing, because a lot of fines were there. They were accurately identifying the people who have not wearing the seat belt. And also what happened was that the people have, some clever people have come up with a t-shirt having a the, what is that, the printing of belt, seat belt, so that the mindset of the people also has to be changed. So a lot of complaints, if it is not there, see, we are not thinking about the security requirement. Our primary focus was how to break or go against the system. So in any AI or any cyber security or in any space, the role of citizen or people are also important. So I will be covering these kind of entire things in my 1.5 hour, 2 hour session. And one more advance, sorry, I will be saying, actually I have prepared the slides, everything last night only, so there may be some spelling mistake, and also I will correct that thing and send the separate version later on. Thank you. So in this particular session, the agenda is cyber security landscape, global as well as India. Then role of AI in threats and defense, sovereign cloud for national security. Now everyone is going for using various clouds, depending on various cloud service providers, including academia, banks, healthcare and all. The relevance for a sovereign where the focus is for data localization is always important. It has to be in an auditable environment. So, sovereign cloud for national security, then zero trust plus OAuth-based security, and sector-specific use cases, human resource, and leadership needs are relevant for successful implementation of any cybersecurity infrastructure. So why this contraception matters? That is also important, as you all will be knowing. Cyber attacks are increasing exponentially. AI is accelerating both offense as well as defense. Digital public infrastructure is getting expanded. Complaints becoming mandatory. See, I already told lot of technologies are there, but how to effectively use that particular thing, there should be a push from the government as well as various regulatory entities. So what are the standards or compliance requirements? Even being an academic community, what are the compliance requirements put in place by various regulatory authorities like RBI or SEBI or even CERTIN or NCAPC? Our technology development will have to be more aligned with that kind of requirement. There are in India, if you are taking, there are cases where compliance requirement will come in advance. Technology will be coming in a later stage. But there are cases where technology is going ahead and compliance coming behind. The problem what now all these sector-specific compliance bodies are facing is the main challenge is sector-specific organizations which they are facing is that they are having lot of compliance requirements coming. The actual products are not there. So what they have to do? They have to depend on some kind of startup or academy. If they are having if you are looking at the core banking solution, we all may be using the core banking solution. But some specific requirement or RBI is putting some specific mandatory clause that banks has to adopt. They cannot go for what is that high-end system. They have to have some kind of independent or microservice model where, so in that kind of space, a collaborative approach from a startup and academy will also play a major role, because on short-term basis, some kind of POCs can be generated and that can be integrated into the existing system. So now, trust again now a national strategic asset. So my entire session will be focused on these particular 5 points. I will be going here and there, back and forth. Some things may get repeated wherever it is required. Now, if you are looking into the cyber security, I have introduced actually 9. It is not a theoretical word and all, but if you are looking into the whole cyber security or cyber infrastructure, what we are talking, if you are able to focus on these, or if you are trying to understand the 9 terms, starting with 3 terms starting with S, and 3 terms starting with C, and 3 terms starting with A, this will cover entire cyber security. Because now if you are using any specific application or any activity, the general philosophy is that we will be creating something, right? Even if it is a YouTube video or even if it is a Google Doc, I may be initiating one document, it will be shared. We don't know who, see whatever that I will be sharing with someone, whatever the modification or changes, everything will be happening. But at some different places, we don't need to sit together. So synchronization or collaboration is always important. See, any application, any technology you take, some initiative will be there for generating that content or generating that activity. It will be taken on or added by some people. Some people may be able to see the content. Some people may be given the permission to edit or enhance. So synchronization or collaboration is one of the main activity. Now without that synchronization or collaboration, now cyberspace is no more. Then earlier we were having all the data stored in the premises where we were able to see or physically locate. Now we were all 5 years before, people who were having some 1 TB or 5 TB of some external hard disk was a hero. You all will be knowing, because he will be having lot of content of films, music, and now that has completely changed. We are depending on Google Drive or that kind of setup or various cloud facilities. And the main challenge or whatever the technology why we have to bother is that storing is there. We are able to store bulk amount or large amount of data, but we are not sure where it is getting stored. Whether some data which need not go outside our country, whether it is getting stored in Singapore or some other data center. So synchronization, the data is getting stored. We don't know where exactly it is getting stored. And finally, security. See, security means whatever the synchronized or stored data has to be in a secure manner. What is meant by security? Only the intended audience only should be able to view or modify the entire data or content being available in the cyberspace. So, if you are using one YouTube, creating one YouTube video and sharing it through YouTube, someone will be downloading. The scenario is same. We are not aware where it is getting stored, even whom it is getting shared and all. Now the next one is related to the behavioral aspect. That also has to be, see, cyber security, we cannot count it as a technology alone. It has to be, the human factor is also involved. And with that human factor, technology has to be integrated. So, what is the content we are generating? Okay. And to whom you are sending or sharing with the right contact. Contact in the sense, it need not be through the social media and all, even with the specific network or specific systems where we are getting connected. That is also, that is how I have put the term as contact. Now, content is there. We have to identify the right source or destination for getting connected. That is how I have put as contact. And the overall behavioral aspect is also important. So conduct or the behavior also matters. If some data which need not be shared, if you are sharing, you will be knowing what will be the consequence. So these are the three words. Then the third or set of keywords is avoid. Whatever we don't need to, we don't want, or if you are feeling that something has to be avoided in my system, you have to completely avoid. Basically, if you are getting some link through WhatsApp or something, see, we should be having that understanding that it is not required for me. See, now the tendency of human beings is that if we are getting something free, directly we will go and take that thing. See, whenever we are getting something free, we should be able to, or we should be in a position to avoid what is not required. Maybe technology also can be implemented there, and we should be having a self-awareness on what to be done, what is the content for across for all the keywords I have given. That awareness is important. And finally, administration. Administration can be self-administration. Now, in the normal whatever that scenario, if you are asking and going to a village area and all, if you are asking who is the powerful person in that area, the WhatsApp admin who is managing the bigger WhatsApp group will be the whatever that decisive factor, because he can post something, he will not allow anyone to post anything. So, and if some unwanted talks are getting happen, he may remove them. So he is a powerful. Now even that Panchayat elections are going on. Actually, now the strategy of elections has been changed. Who are that people who are contesting in the election, they are actually earlier they used to meet some religious leaders or some senior teachers for blessings, and now what they are doing, once the whatever the candidateship is announced, they are going to the biggest WhatsApp group admin and getting their blessing. That is how the world has changed. See, administration is not related to this kind of group. Self-administration is also important. So, the technology as well as combining the behavioral aspect in these 9 words, we can call it as cyber security. Cyber security in the sense, trust-based cyber security. We will not be calling now onwards cyber security alone. Everything, whatever the cyber security we are having is a trust. We should be having the trust. If I am offering some technology, all the 4 members should be having the trust to use that thing. Okay. Now, all these terms has to be combined along with the technology, policy and ethics is also important and foundation for responsible digital citizens. So this is the scenario in cyber world. Whenever some two friends are getting, that is human nature. If madam, both of you are talking continuously for 1 week or 2 weeks, some of your friends may be interested to know what is going on between their communication. It need not be, I may not be directly targeting or to do anything, but still I am having an anxiety what is going on between, even maybe readable, but the thing is that I know somehow I am making a common friend available to both of them. I will be getting some information, I will introduce some third party again. So this scenario is getting applied in the cyberspace also. So whenever some trusted communication is there, always there will be a third party. And whatever, if you are looking into the same scenario, whatever that human scenario has changed, I will be getting something, I will be making some, see, you know, in WhatsApp group also, whatever the forwarded message and all, if I am getting a message from WhatsApp, some people what they will be doing, they will send as such. Some people what they are doing, they will filter something or add something, kadapad or something in that thing, and they will make it as their own. So the scenario is the same, only thing is that the technology is getting replaced. So that in the inaugural speech, there was someone was talking about COVID period after. Now, if you are looking into the cyber security, see, someone has told about BC. Normally, nowadays, the technology space is that before COVID and after COVID. Now, before COVID, now also, if I am asking, how many of you are having mobile phone? You can raise your hands, no issue. All will raise the hands, right? And if I am asking, I am modifying a question. If 10 years before, if I am asking this particular question, probably the hands may be around some 75%. If I was asking the same question 15 years before, it may be 15, like that it was going. Now I am replacing that, enhancing that question. All of your hands has been raised. I am asking one thing, how many of you are having 2 SIMs in your mobile phone? That is what, that count, obviously that count will go right there. And there are people who are having 2 mobiles also, with one personal phone with 2 SIMs in that one, and I will be having some, okay. Now with this is the scenario. Now if we are having 50 people here, with the number of SIMs or whatever that mobile phone count, obviously in this group itself I can, including me, out of the 50, total connection will be 75. I can guarantee, though hands has not been raised, that is the scenario, 75. Now Ramya madam or someone is announcing that you are having a free Wi-Fi here, they are putting the password for that Wi-Fi here. I am 100% sure that 50% of the people, though they are having a free data in their mobile, they will switch off that mobile data and connect to that one. So whatever that we are, wherever we are going, wherever we are getting a chance to get connected to some data source or some internet connectivity, we will, what we will be doing, we will get connected to that environment. So this is how, why cyber security is having, if you are comparing whatever the number of people versus number of internet source, across the globe if you are taking, it will be more. That is why cyber security is having relevance. So this anyway, this has gone after the COVID and other things only. Now another thing, behavioral aspect. I have already talked about the context keyword, behavioral aspect. Now the thing is that people are having or without understanding the consequence or whatever that thing, they are actually publishing the data through social media and other things. If I am traveling somewhere, I will directly say I am traveling to somewhere, and even I will post my boarding pass also through WhatsApp status or Facebook, and I will put the photo. with that information itself, there are cases where it has been led to some lot of digital arrest and other things. You may have read in the newspaper. If my daughter is traveling to somewhere and she is, assume a case, she is putting all the details and all, there will be some people will be able to know where she is going. If I am showing the boarding pass, I can know. And if yesterday my wife was traveling to Delhi, so at 6 o'clock, if she is putting that boarding pass, if someone is able to properly understand that thing, 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, he may not be available through any means. At that time, in her name, some spoofed account, some urgent message can be said saying that I am traveling or I need some kind of help. And there are cases, and some our own friends or relatives itself may help. So that is how that behavioral aspect is also important. Whatever we are posting in the public domain, people are there to watch. And this t-shirt case I have already always compliance requirement. We are generally people tendency is that we are trying to oppose what government is trying to implement, and we are trying to become a hero or something. Some mental satisfaction is there. That also is playing a major role in the cyber security space. So with this background, I am just going through some of the statistics specifically in the Indian context. See, we are having, as per the TRAI statistics, the number of broadband users are 944 million users, and 700 million average UPI transactions are happening daily in India. You can imagine the volume, and it has in the last September, it has crossed the all-time record of 725 million transactions per day. That happened in some specific, not this last Diwali or something, that has reached the all-time record of 725 million average transactions on a day. And we are having around 110 million vehicles having FASTag with 600 plus toll plazas, and leading, whatever that India is leading the AI adoption rate with 30% against the global average of 26%. And as per the reports, it is expected that the public cloud service market will be touching $17.8 billion US by 2027. So this is so India is also part of that thing. And technologies and sectors are also important. See, the main focus where technology growth will come, or even being an academic community, your problems or solutions or the students' project can be aligned to the various sectors like smart cities, wherever some critical infrastructure like power and other sectors or fintech is there, that students' project or their internship, everything has to be focused towards these technologies and sectors. Zero trust architecture, again you may have heard about zero trust architecture, wherein we should not be trusting anyone, not we in the sense our devices should not be, or our infrastructure should not be trusting anyone. Then cloud is there, edge, wherever that IoT or that kind of devices are there, that computation should happen not by traveling the data, sending the data to some other place. It has to be on an immediate basis, adjacent to the devices. That kind of processing should happen, and high performance computing. And if you are looking into the sectors, e-learning, telehealth, smart agriculture, critical infrastructure like smart cities and the BFSI sector. So all these, whatever that technologies has to be focused towards the various sectors mentioned here. So if you are looking into the next 5 to 10 years, all our research or any student or academic contribution along with startup should be focused in this particular section. This is also important in two aspects. I think you are all familiar with the icons I have given, right? One from the user angle as well as from the technology angle. I'm just asking a question from the user angle. Any of you can answer. I am just asking, which are the apps which have been installed during the last 1 month in your mobile? Can anyone answer within 30 seconds? In your mobile only, not in my phone. The apps which were installed during the last 1 month in your phone. You are not installed anything. Yes. Can you say in 30 seconds, at least one or two? Okay. Then MS Family Safety. Okay. Okay, you understood the seriousness, right? Now, what was the application you have mentioned, sir?
Microsoft Family Safety.
Okay. Any other generic application can you just mention based on some context which you have installed in your can anyone? Scanner, not scanner and all. See, wherever some high, I don't know how I can be, if I will be able to express. Some fancy apps based on that relevant that particular time people may install something, right? Can you mention one or DigiLocker? Spelling? AJIO. What is that app, madam?
Online shopping platform.
Shopping
platform.
Online shopping. Okay, clothing. Okay. Okay, if you are, we will take that app itself. Okay. As a case study, madam has installed that particular application. If some other new apps are coming, what we will be doing? But now the tendency I understood. Whenever some attractive apps which are offering some kind of attractive offers, we will focus our. Okay. Now instead of Agio, some other app is getting. Madam will use that thing for 3 months or 4 months, and will change to some other thing. The basic question I am giving is that. Even if I am not using Agio app, will you uninstalling that one? Okay, if it is you are uninstalling, it is fine. But in my case, I am not doing 100%. Okay. Thing is that the apps which we are not using, we will not patch also regularly. We will get the messages in Android or Play Store showing that you have to patch the app. Otherwise, if you are using them laptops, many times message will come, you have to patch the system and reboot the system. What we will be doing, 99% of the people will skip for later or next time it is going on. So two things are there. One is, even if our app is from the trusted source, we have to update the apps, or basically we have to know what is your device or what is your device is having. So this is from the behavioral aspect. Second one is related to lot of people are using or trying to get the data from this particular apps which are not updated, and also that technology has to be focused towards that thing. Okay, now the context, India's digital growth. Now if we are talking some 5 or 6 years back, we were all talking about whenever if road is not clear, we used to complain, right? Because it is a public infrastructure. Or if we are not getting water, we used to call. Or if we are having a power supply, we used to go and complain. So a lot of public infrastructures are there where we can depend. Now the concept has been changed in such a way that the digital public infrastructures or DPI has come into picture. So digital public infrastructure, rapid internet is the digital public infrastructure, digital services, apps are there, and the government's policy is also aligned towards. Academy is having a lot of heavy role to play in collaboration with industry as well as startup or setting up their own innovation zone and getting connected with. I have already given the one case where we need to collaborate with the BFSA or that kind of requirement, where some new products or technologies are used. Actually, industry is suffering to have that kind of good product. They have to have dependency on academia only. So, innovation ecosystem is also important. Lot of government facilities are there, and strategic priorities. Data generation is happening. Whenever data is getting generated, risk and opportunities are also getting increased. Digital sovereignty and localization home to the, again, from the Indian context, we are the home to the world's largest connected population. The statistics are there: UPI, Aadhaar, CoWIN, then DigiLocker, ONDC, Open Network for democratizing the small scale industries with an API ecosystem is there, ONDC. So these are all part of digital public infrastructure. And we have to introduce something called as India Stack. Okay, India Stack is nothing but, if you are now, you imagine a case where you don't have Aadhaar, you have not taken Aadhaar. What will be, how will be your life in India? It is like you are a dead person here in India. Right? We have to say that I am having a hand, I am having a face, I am having a whatever that parents with so and so features, somewhere I have born. So entire history has to be regenerated. Then also, who is going to trust? Even if you are bringing your parents also now and saying that these are my parents, it will be difficult for you to get food, at least if you are some 25 to 30. Means someone will be there to recognize you. But as a citizen, it is very difficult to get recognized. So, Aadhaar and UID, for everything, whatever the sensitive data, whatever that certificate, everything, we have to use DigiLocker. Then any application, or we are know your client. Earlier, what we used to, pensioners and all, we have to go to the bank and say that I am alive, I have to put a signature. Now KYC verification platforms are there, and wherever applications are there, we have to go for e-sign, which is integrated with the Aadhaar. And finally, without UPI also, even if you are having Aadhaar and you got recognized, if you are not having UPI, again your case is gone. Right. So this is how the India, and wherever you can see this one, we are having consent, cashless, paperless, presenceless. So from here, the India Stack, wherever permission on demand, we have to go digitally. Financial transactions on demand, documents on demand, authentication on demand, everything is available on demand, and services are also getting demand. Now, what are the strategic enablers? AI integration is important, cyber security. See, we cannot simply implement these many technologies, right? In the back end, there should be a background proper cyber security mechanism should be there, and public trust is also there. Where the trust will come? See, we have to proudly say that, like, though we are criticizing Aadhaar in many ways, we have to imagine a system where
Sorry. So, regarding Aadhaar, I agree it is mandatory, right?
Yes.
And sometimes KYC is also mandatory for banks and other things. But the remaining UPI and DigiLocker, these are all personal options, right? We can avoid them.
So, it's not mandatory.
Yeah.
But see, though it is mandatory, after 5 or 6, now if you are going any travel, you can have your license, you don't need to carry anything, you don't need to carry your registration certificate. See, that ease of life also has to be increased, right, improved. So that is why this digital public infrastructures are coming. I am not talking about the mandatory thing. Government has come up with these many things, we have to adopt. But still, without cyber security or AI enablement, we cannot trust that thing, right? Okay. So strategic enablers, AI integration, and public trust is also important. Lot of public infrastructures can be there, but trust also has to be built with the help of cyber security. Now, from infrastructure to impact, India Stack as a trusted innovation framework. This is anyway not related to cyber security, but still, India Stack, we are claiming it is like a safe, trusted, and designed for every citizen. Open, inclusive systems help everyone from banks to startups, strong governance, security first, and interoperability. So now coming to the cyber security threat landscape. See, threats were always there. When internet was not there, there were some kind of threat. When internet came, threats have been increased. Now, if you are looking into the whole spectrum of cyber security threat landscape, lot of cyber threats are getting evolved, starting from malware and ransomware attack. Cloud-specific security threats are there. Then supply chain vulnerability. That is the root cause of all cyber security threat. Whatever the main attacks which have happened or originated in the bigger infrastructure has happened due to the supply chain attack. One example I will say, we are all depending on, if you are asking your own students, some 10 to 15 people may be directly writing the code. 85% of the students, what they are doing, they will be taking the code from some repository and submitting and polishing and giving it to you. Okay. Similar cases happening in the industry also. We are not, we should not think that TCS, not TCS or I am not, any company which is that software which is being developed is not fully coded by someone. They may have taken, or they may have taken some part of the code from their previous systems, or they may have used some libraries. So all those things will come into the supply chain, where I am taking, where the code is getting originated, where the code is getting fitted, and while still going into the production. Wherever, assume a case where if you are using some APIs or libraries, what will be the case if that library is not getting updated or something? Obviously that can, though we are having all the other security mechanisms, the libraries which I have taken from some repository, if it is causing some, if they are having some major security issues, our entire system will get collapsed. And there are some critical challenges with respect to this supply chain. One is that licensing is also important. We may be using some different kinds of open source licenses, you may be aware, right? If there are licenses where we cannot use commercially, there are licenses where we have to, that license should not be changed. So, improper, whatever that license violation, everything will come under the supply chain. Whenever from the origin of the code to the production, where the systems are getting deployed, this supply chain attacks are the supply chain security we have to ensure. One slide I will be covering related to supply chain related vulnerabilities. Probably, I don't know whether you are for cyber security interested people and all. Certain government of India has come up with something called as software bill of materials to regulations to address this particular supply chain related issue. Then insider threats, anyway that people factor as well as technology also will be used. Then IoT and OT security risk, vulnerabilities in legacy systems, distributed denial of service attacks, identity and access management failures, mobile devices and application security, geopolitical tensions and cyber warfare, regulatory changes and complaints. So whenever we are talking about cyber security, all our cyber security issues can be fitted in some or other items. Now the modern cyber threat landscape, cyber attacks are growing in scale and sophistication. Motives with financial gain, critical sectors under siege. Attackers now exploit AI for smarter and faster attacks, need for proactive and adaptive defenses. So the keywords in the current cybersecurity industry is threat intelligence, zero trust, AI-driven security operations centers, and rapid incident response. See, I think some 10 or 15 years back, again, as I was comparing that hard disk, who was the owner of hard disk and all, there were one separation between if people when they used to have laptops or PC at home, some 10 years or 15 years back, that people who are having an antivirus in one system versus a segregation of people who are not having an antivirus was also there, right? So everyone was thinking that if an antivirus is in my system, entire problems are getting solved. Okay. Now, that focus of security professionals were in such a way that everything to be prevented. Now anyway, cyber security research community or industry has accepted that prevention is not at all possible. Then what we can do, we have to detect in a timely manner and respond in such a way that the incident or the effect should not be spread across other systems. Assume an ransomware attack or some malware attack is happening in one of the system, we have to identify that that particular system is getting affected, and we have to disconnect that particular system from the network, and we should be having rapid incident response or incident analysis and identifying the root cause from that machine, and then we have to go for some precautionary measures in the, see in the, especially in Kerala, when this COVID was there, one of the political leader was talking about mitigation. You may be hearing, especially in from Kerala. That political leader was targeted like anything. I am not talking anything about on the politics. That mitigation keyword became a troll in Kerala. Okay. Actually speaking, wherever some kind of disasters or some incident is happening, mitigation is the only thing. We cannot solve everything. We have to have some whatever that smarter approach to identify the root cause and ensure that the things are not getting spread to the different people or different systems. So cyber security, converging environment now, that traditional cyber security we have to follow, what it should be there, but still cyber security focus should be towards IoT, cloud and AI. If you are talking about IoT, what will be the main challenge for IoT? That encryptions and authentication methods are very weak, because we cannot implement some kind of high-end encryptions in our small IoT systems and all. So weak authentication, gaps in upgrade. See now, how many of you are having smartwatch? No one. Okay. Again, that update factor, we are actually least bothered about, even including me, I am saying, and even if, see, for upgrading this watch, I have to sync this watch with my mobile. Then if I am getting some call or something, then my phone. So lot of issues are there. I have given one small example. Then insecure interfaces. That is again another problem. See, maybe my mobile is having lot of some other issues. I am trying to upgrade my wearable device through that particular mobile. Then data protection, privilege escalation, man in the middle attack, brute force attack, firmware hijacking, physical tampering is also possible. There are cases where people have gone and tampered the IoT sensors or that kind of things. And cloud, identity access, misconfigurations, insecure interfaces, advanced persistent threat, data exfiltration, DOS attack, then it's like that. Then AI, I am not touching more towards the AI part. Anyway, in your other sessions it will get covered. Data poisoning, system manipulation, model extraction, like that. Now, though we are talking about cloud and AI, IoT and all, again I am coming back to the before COVID versus after COVID. Now you come to your home. Most of your parents or grandfather or whatever parents who are above 60, now they are all using all nowadays. If you are looking into the farm, whatever that nearby ones, all the cyber attacks may have happened through the use by the older generation. Older generation in the sense above 60 or just kind of retired people who are enjoying their. Ideally, they should be peacefully enjoying their life. They are all having the mobile. Whenever, you know, even if in the WhatsApp group or other things, the things which are that forwards are more done by whom? The people who are aged more than 60. We cannot scold them because it will be what is the violation of the protocol, that we have to respect our parents and some. See, even they are the people who are clicking on all the links. Whichever some Amazon free is there, they will, in my, not in that way, my neighbors and some relatives, whenever some offer is coming, they will order it for their children with some, instead of Amazon, if some link is coming, AMIZ 0, sorry, Z0N, one app is coming and saying that some dress or something will be there with 100 rupees, some offer is there, immediately they will click there. So then the students anyway, that now they are having that ethical whatever that practices, and now it is kind of thing. The main challenge is now online shopping increased, and the role of senior citizens are the major part as far as the normal society is there. Then personal devices. See, now after the COVID, what happened is that even government employees also, they used to work from home because that practice they have adopted. The thing is that government has not given a proper system. They will be using their own system. Proper security mechanisms are not there. Controls are not there. Then patching we are not doing. Like a lot of an incident response, it is not getting connected to the proper security mechanisms and all. Now, human element is the main factor as well. Again, I talked about that in one of the previous slides. Two aspects are there. One, we are responsible for all the security, whatever that incident. Along with the introduction of AI, humans have to play a major role. Now, earlier when in my talk and all, till 2 years before, I was directly, the heading was like that, weakest link in cyber security. Probably if you may have attended some sessions and all the speakers will say one slide by including weakest link in cyber security, that is human only. Now the scenario has changed. The weakest link is there as a human being, it is already there, but with the introduction of AI, the proper intervention of human is also important. Otherwise we are leading to lot of false result, lot of things are there. So weakest link, skilled professionals essential for defense. We have to think in a direction where we have to enhance the manpower in such a way that cyber security challenges are getting addressed. Insider threats, everywhere human element is there. Insider threats managed through culture and tool. Diversity and ethics, improve AI quality and other issues. Continuous learning adapts to new challenges. Everyone has a role in the security awareness. AI generated contents. We have to have the mechanism for at least by seeing something, we have to say that, I'm not sure in this, now the elections are going on. Election Commission has issued an order saying that AI or deepfake content should not be used in their campaigns because it can, mislead people in some or other format. Then awareness, training and accountability are, again I am introducing back the avoid, aware and administer, that is applicable for the human factor. Now India's cyber security reality, 50% increase in ransomware attacks, especially in last 12 months, BFSI, banking, finance sector, health and government most targeted. Rapid cloud adoption, widening exposure, DPDP Act. Probably you may have heard on that thing and some sessions are there, but still that compliance requirement is also becoming a pressurizing situation for all the organizations because the fines which they have put in that act is very heavy fines are there. Digital services scaling faster than security maturity. This is the major challenge now India is having. Now if you are looking any state government or any central government, rulers or government is smart enough to say that I am launching this scheme. But whether question is, it is a self-answering question whether we are having that kind of cyber security maturity is there or not for any of the implemented systems. So what are the possibilities when you are connected to internet? This is all you will be available, like information sharing is happening in groups, apps and all. Multiple languages can be used for any kind of content. Use of different types of attack and fourth one is also important. Lot of domains and websites are, even apps are also getting created. Fake apps or fake domains and people are getting continuously cheated towards that thing. And fake mobile apps are also there. Phishing email campaigns. specific to industry. Okay, anyway, as you can just go through the slide. I am just giving one exercise for you, not now. I think the time is not there. You just search and you can note down somewhere. You can just search in Google and search the keyword phishing IQ test. I don't know whether anyone has tried that one. You can just try. You will be taking 1 or 2 minutes of time. You will be able to understand how whether you will be identify a fake mail or spam mail, not spam, phishing mail, or some kind of domains where you are able to properly. Lot of security vendors are providing, and they are actually frequently changing the content also. So my advice is that if you are keen on this kind of cyber security initiatives, and you just randomly go through this phishing IQ test and have a try once in 2 or 3 months. Now, whenever we are talking about any cyber security attack, this is called as cyber security, cyber kill chain. So, what happens is that in the cyber security scenario, 80 to 90% of the time, attackers are spending for collecting data. Okay, now one scenario I will say, in normally during August 15th, you know the relevance of August 15th, right? Lot of Indian government websites are getting attacked. So, within one day all these things can be attacked. We should be having a proper analysis, what are the vulnerable websites in advance. So that kind of studies are being done previously. Okay. So that particular phase where attackers are getting information from the public domain itself, that is called as reconnaissance, which is taking the more time as far as attacker community is there. So if I am assuming that one of the government, for example, Kannur University, if that site is having some kind of issues, I will not, or attacker will not target that particular site on the day which I have identified. What they are doing is that I may add that particular list of one university website to the, what is that, targeted thing for some, assume a case where CM is coming to Kannur University and inaugurating something on that particular day. Attackers, what they will do, they will make down the site of Kannur University. So the thing is that people are continuously having a lot of checks and reconnaissance activities are going on, and they are storing the data, and even not only storing, they will share to different hacker or attacker community. Because see, as an attacker group, I may be targeting to put on the site of one particular university when some specific events are happening at 10 o'clock. May not be successful. So what I am doing, their motive is to ensure that that site has to be done. Who is doing that thing, that is least bothered. So he will give the details to multiple people that attack. They may start around 9:30 and by around 10 o'clock. This will get collapsed. So reconnaissance is one of the most important and time consuming, and it can go for years and years also. Then weaponization, then the delivery of the weapon, then exploitation, installation, and command and control. So this will be the normal process. I will be having an information about vulnerable target. I may identify some kind of weapons for, like, it can be some WhatsApp messages or some phishing messages or anything. I will identify how they can be targeted and it can be sent. And once someone is clicking the link or something, it will be stored in our system, and when the time comes, it will get activated, and finally command and control will get so this is the various stage. If you are looking into the reconnaissance, a lot of reconnaissance activities are there. Even if someone is scanning your network, will you be able to identify one single scan in one publicly hosted network? No one is bothered. Okay, I will be scanning at 10 o'clock. After 1 week, I will go for some other scan, so that I will be able to identify the open ports for traffic mirroring. I may be mirroring the traffic. Similarly, I will be having some kind of mailing list in the website itself. I will identify which are the social media handles of that particular organization. These are all reconnaissance. No one will be knowing that this activity is going on, because all the activities are kind of 99% passive activity only. Because my firewall or any other security systems need not be bothered about that. Once the target or whatever the things are in place, I know these things are there, I will go for weaponization. Weaponization means creating a shortened URL or some kind of malicious PDF or some kind of embedded code or malware embedded in some documents and all are considered as weapons. I will identify the suitable weapon for sending to that particular target. After that, I will, delivery is also important. Only because my malware in a Word document with me will not target any infrastructure. I have to identify the right person and prompt them through some phishing messages or text messages or through USB and all, and it has to be delivered. Once that particular document or malware is in my system, they will go for exploitation and installation. Where it will get installed, that is important. Unbiased systems, any zero-day vulnerability. Zero-day vulnerabilities means all our systems are having lot of vulnerabilities, unless otherwise that vendor or OEM understand that the system is having any specific issues and the patch release, one cycle is there. Before the official patch is getting released, see, assume a case, myself and madam, that we are part of some attacker group. I have identified that in Windows or some Linux, one particular version, some issue is there. I will not publish to the outside world, or I will not do any attack. I will share with my peer friend, what is your name, madam? Shamina madam, and say that this application or this system is having something. So we will talk each other. We understood some vulnerabilities there. We will share with some other people. We will think for some other attack which can be planned by exploiting that vulnerability. Okay. So this cycle may be gone for 6 months or 7 months or 8 months. Lot of attacks are happening. We will not be knowing about this. What is name? Akshara. After 8 months of time, she is also a cyber security professional, and she understood that the issue is there for what is that? What are the same system? She also identifies in her own way. Then what she will be doing? She is an ethical cyber practitioner. She will be reporting to either Microsoft or certain, saying that this application is having such an issue. For the first time, a reporting has been happened. When this issue was originally identified me by 8 months, reporting has happened by an ethical cyber security practitioner after 8 months. So between that period, me and my friend have targeted many systems and many things have been conducted. No one has identified how that attack has happened. The period from which the first identification to the day in which Akshara madam has identified that there is an issue and she has reported that thing to Microsoft or certain, and the patch has been released. Till that period, it is called as a 0 day. It is not single 0 day, and so that is how 0 days are working. And once the patch, now security life cycle is in such a way that someone is reporting that thing, and at 0th day, kind of 100th or some other day, it is getting reported. Immediately, patch will get generated. With the patch alone, now systems will work. Do you think that with the patch, Microsoft is releasing a patch, will all the problems will get solved? They have to make some campaign to make that users are patching the system. With that things itself, again this cycle will get, can be stopped? No. Corresponding to this system, all the security mechanisms like firewall or that antivirus or any intrusion prevention system, they have to put the signature matching to these vulnerability. So in the unpatched systems, our security will then come and play and identify that whenever something is happening with this kind of scenario, our all the security device will get started working. So the cycle is like that. Someone will be identifying the vulnerability. They may or may not report. Those who are not reporting, they will send the message in their relevant groups, and a lot of systems are getting attacked. And some ethical practitioner or some cyber security professional identify that thing, patch will get, they will inform the vendor or the system, and they will, the patch will get generated. Then corresponding to that particular issue, now the 0-day vulnerability has been changed into a new name, non-vulnerability. Ariyavunna vulnerability, they have been changed to KNOW, non-vulnerability. And for non-vulnerabilities, we have to apply patch, as well as our security system should be competent enough to catch that thing. So this is how the cycles are happening. Okay, we will come back to our thing. So exploitation and installation can be in many ways. And finally, once the issues are there, and once I am in your system, I will be taking the control, some kind of advanced persistent wait and watch policy will be there. Wait and watch. Now you come to the August 15th scenario. I will wait till August 15th or some other specific day. Then pivoting between for launching attack extortion. Okay, so this is how the any traditional cyber, traditional in the sense, if you are till last 1 year, this was the cyber security scenario. Again, now also there is no change. Only thing is that a component has come into picture. So again, the slides are repeated. Reconnaissance, gaining access, taking control, and covering traces is also important, because how I have done that particular, that all the evidences will get deleted. Okay, information gathering I have already told. Publicly available applications only used for information gathering. Probably you may have heard about this thing. I am not covering much into this particular thing. Google or something called as advanced Google search operators are there, or even any browsers like Bing and other things, they are having something called as doors, which are used for getting lot of sensitive information, see whatever the information in link, text, title, then cache, some links and all, they can use that thing that you can separately just go through. You have to understand that something called as advanced operators are there, which is called as doors. You just search in the net, you can note down Google hacking database, GHD, Google hacking database. Lot of queries are there. You just give the query against any publicly available website, you will get lot of information from that particular site. Like you may be putting some PDF in your site. I can go and search only the PDF or some Excel. So like that way you can go and identify. Now what we can find, that is also important. Advisories, details of vulnerable products, servers and files. See, now attackers are always smart enough. They are not look for, in a traditional case, for any application you say, for hosting any application, what are the components required? One web server should be there. Then for the development, some application environment like PHP or Java is there. Okay. Any facility where data is getting stored, what should be there? One database is there. So web server, database, and these three. Then one OS also should be there where it is being. So 4 components are there for me where I can easily target it. By simply looking at a website, can I identify that this application was developed using Java or Python or PHP? No. By simply looking at that thing, we cannot identify web server, we cannot identify the OS, similarly we cannot identify the database also. So there are cases where in some websites some errors may come when we are doing for some operations. In that one, what happens is that there you will get a hint saying that MySQL error or some PHP something. So what is the meaning, whatever the information I am getting, this particular site somewhere I am using that people have used MySQL as the database. So we have to correlate our skill set in such a way that you have to go through the way in which MySQL can be targeted. Okay, maybe some default user names are there, or admin users they have not gone with the default thing. So in this way we have to make our approach in a different way. So with this kind of reconnaissance we will get a lot of error messages. From the error messages, the starting in whatever that point for many of the attackers are getting got from this kind of error messages. Similarly, files, whether some sensitive files are there or not, published and all, sensitive directories, everything, whether we will be able to scan and identify, everything will be coming under this kind of reconnaissance. And I'm just, you may have heard about something called as Shodan. See, if Google is giving the content about what is available in cyberspace, there are some specific browsers or search engines which they will be giving the information about components. Basically, if I wanted to know the exposed Apache servers in Bangalore or in India, I can use this Shodan. Or similarly, not all the systems, wherever some kind of exposure has been done, those systems details I will be able to get to. Nginx or based on Windows. So we can have some Shodan, it's a search engine for finding specific devices, device types, and that exist online. Designed by one person called as John Matherly. Works by scanning the entire internet and parsing the banners that are returned by various devices. See, every device will be having some set of banners, so they are getting information from those banners and you will be able to get. Even in a simple browser also you can use this one. Popular searches are like whether some webcams are available or not. If webcams are publicly available, what we can do, we can somehow get into that system and the video of that premises, everything can be taken. Shodan interrogates ports and grabs the resulting banners designed to help the user find specific nodes with specific content in banners. So these were some of the news which was published while Shodan became popular. Many attacks in the period 2012 to 18 were initiated using this kind of Shodan being used as a reconnaissance tool, and they have grabbed the information of lot of systems, and systems were attacked. This is how the Shodan interface will look. If you simply just give Shodan.io, after that, like any other thing, you can just give some keywords like Windows, Apache, Bangalore, India, something you can say, lot of new results will get. Now, I don't know whether, I will just give an example. You can take your mobile and go to this particular site. How reconnaissance will come, work. As a simple example, probably you may be aware or heard about that thing, haveibeenphone.com. Just type in your mobile.
Spelling mistake?
HAVEIBWN.
No, there's a spelling mistake. PA should be there.
No, it's like correct. I think it is correct. So have you gone through that site? All of you, right? You just give your Gmail ID there and search. Go to that site. You give your Gmail ID. One text box is there, right? Search. What is the result? Can anyone say what is the result? 0? Okay. Any of you are having 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, 5? Okay.
1.
1. Okay. 0. Okay. Me, madam. 2. Okay. 1. Last. Check. Okay. No, 0. Okay. See, with this exercise, I don't have any specific comment or something like that. What is madam's name?
My name Vadana.
Vadana Priya.
Vadana Kumari.
Vadana Kumari, okay. Madam said that, what is that, 5?
Yes.
What is the,
Data breaches.
eh?
Data
5 data breaches have come. 2 meanings are there. Either madam have shared the mail ID to somewhere, or wherever some data breaches occurred, maybe LinkedIn or some other application or Twitter or some commercial app, your in the exposed mail IDs, your mail IDs have been included. That is one hint I am getting. Okay. Next thing is important. The chances are there, madam may be using whatever that some simple password or something that otherwise also directly chances for compromise may be there. So 2 hints I am getting from there. So if madam is having, assume I am taking the second case, that madam's mail ID, there are possibility that mail IDs can be, means I can give some more other thing. If she is not, need not be true also, if her Gmail, madam's Gmail ID can be compromised 5 times, meaning is that I can try for a compromise of other accounts also. So this is giving a picture about one person. Simple reconnaissance example only I am giving. Gmail is a publicly available data, right? I can use, and that thing I understand. Actually speaking, my Gmail, one of the Gmail edit has gone for 12 or 13. If I am looking, that is the thing. I don't know where it has happened, how it has happened. Still, I don't know whether some systems it is logged in or that kind of thing. So it will be giving a hint to the attacker that you are somewhere weak in some aspect. Either you may not be changing the password regularly, or you may be using some simple password. It gives a hint to the attackers that I can try some other execution mode by some phishing, or because if you are not you, anyone if weak in keeping the passwords or least bothered about that thing, there are possibilities that I can send a SMS or WhatsApp message and I can attract you. So this is how people are. It is not a harmful thing. I am not getting any specific attack pattern or something, but it is giving a clue that out of the 25 people here, some 5 people I can easily target. They will not target you immediately, but your name also will be one of the, not you, 5 is not very high. There are people who are having 10 or 15 or 20, and just as the 5 is the biggest number here only, I have quoted this example. So this is how the reconnaissance is happening. Publicly available data, only people are using for attack. Similarly, you can also try for ghostproject.fr if you are keen on that thing. Okay, another thing is that something called as open source intelligence is there. You can just take 1 minute and go to that site, osintframework.com. 1 minute, you can just go and check in the mobile itself. osintframework.com. OSINT framework is nothing but it will be giving lot of opportunities for people to get the usernames or some other details, IP addresses, mail IDs, everything with some kind of, you can able to see, right? OSINT. See, you can see some links are there. If you are clicking on that thing, different sites details will be there. You will be able to buy some APIs and fetch data from that thing. See now, like nowcareer.com or employment site, we will be getting data from multiple sites. Assume, madam, someone's password is compromised through some other video. I am 100% sure that my Gmail password will be used in some other 5 or 6 different things. So, in one of the site, if your whatever that account is getting compromised, I can apply the same password to other place also. So for that kind of thing, for this correlation, nowadays researchers are using this particular platform. Only for reconnaissance activities. Now, with all these security things and all, where the traditional security focus, some vigilance has to be there. Being a research community or academic community, if you are encouraging your students, the products or solutions or POCs should come from the vigilance angle. Servers and hosts can be monitored, then network equipments, packets and contents can be taken and analyzed, user behavior can be analyzed, data and information and configuration. So these are some of the research areas where academic community along with students you can focus, especially from the vigilance angle. Then specific research challenges, that is also important. High speed content analysis, intrusion detection analysis. If you are looking into these keywords in some IEEE papers, and you will be able to see lot of work happening across globe. Malware research, efficient behavior modeling, data mining for security, attack analysis and modeling, vulnerability and threat analysis, end system security, cyber forensics. I have just introduced some of the keywords only where people can focus. Then approach, in any security system approach, prevention, it is ruled out. You cannot prevent anything. Prevention. Protect, how to protect, detect and analyze and then segregate. That is the only thing. So, when this kind of detection process is going on, you have to be see now cyber security professionals alone cannot do anything. You have to depend on big data analytics or data handling professionals to handle this many volume of data. So we have to have any approach. Now if anyway our academia everywhere it has changed, but still we have to go for collaborative research only. Cyber security professionals alone cannot do anything. They have to take the help of data scientists or data analysts or big data professionals, and because we are all handling large volume of data. How that data can be, whatever the stored data can be analyzed, it has to be go in a collective manner. Then what kind of data we are getting? User and system logs, router events, firewall IDS alerts, proxy logs, network traffic, n number of data sources are there. Volume is also very high. Relevancy, volume, granularity, and heterogeneous environment also we need to have used for some kind of correlation analysis. Policy based, rule based, behavior based, state based, usefulness, false positive, false negatives. All these things has to be taken care of any kind of research activity which academic community is doing. Monitoring and event correlation, IP, pod based, real time and near real time detection and prevention, alerts, even the packets getting dropped also we can analyze. Then connection reset, reconfiguration, accuracy, wire speed, performance, incident handling, post-incident analysis, establishing evidence, recovery, tamper-proof and legal sanity, all are research problem statements only. You can have in whatever that once you go by, from in the terms of projects or papers, everything you can contribute, and you can now the opportunity for academy is very high actually, because you can have your work collaborated with the startups or small industry. They are all ready to take your this kind of whatever that good work which is having some kind of analysis. Then global setting. Anyway, I am not spending scalable, trustworthy system, situation understanding, insider threats, privacy aware security. During the development itself, that privacy has to be included in the development life cycle. Provenance, data origin, then handling data at rest. Evidence where getting data is getting stored, it has to be secured. When data is being sent from one place to another, proper encryptions or that kind of mechanisms has to be there when data in use, combating malware and botnet, security evaluation. Okay, current status, wide-scale data collection and attack analysis, end system, intrusion detection, host level as well as network level intrusion detection system, image analysis, forensic analysis, cryptography and PKI, security auditing, SIM, security information event management, and security operations center. So these are some of the whatever that possibilities or solutions or infrastructures in place to address various security issues. Perimeter security is very much important. See, now till 2019 or even 20, security was including perimeter. We were stopping everything in the perimeter level, firewall, IDS, IPS, and other things. Now it is understood that we cannot handle the things only in the perimeter. We have to go beyond that. See, these are some of the. I think slide is not clear. Anyway, it is clear. Firewall, antivirus, IPS, VPN, UTM, web application firewall. All these firewall, all these walls, wherever it is coming, it is part of perimeter security. And this is also important. At least as a security practitioner, I request you all to follow or subscribe one of the security research website like Security Tracker, then Security Team, Security Focus, even LinkedIn or anywhere you can follow so that you will get an update on what exactly is happening in the security domain. What are the security issues being reported newly? What are the releases made, and this will be an eye opener for all of you. This I am not spending much time, but still you have to have an understanding, or some of you may be knowing CV details. Okay, there we will be able to, basically the CV details platform will see if you are going to the hospital, when we will be going to the see doctor, and when we are having some feeling saying that I am not having well for my 2 days continuous pain is there in my left hand, similarly right leg. See, we are actually thinking on understanding. Probably if I have played my shuttle badminton after